Let's go, everybody. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Good. Come on, love. Come on, sweetie. Come on, love. Let me sit down first, sweetie. Let me sit down first. Hey, folks, Lester here. And allow me to move a couple of things out of the way here because we have a lot going down. And it all starts with this little munchkin right here. Well, as you can probably see, Jami is not here today. So you're going to be forced to hang out a little bit. Well, you don't have to stay. No one has to stay, obviously. But it will be Lester doing Jami's Timeout Tuesday. I'll tell you right now, there's no way will I be as well-spoken or as well put together. What I did do is a little prep work. I made all of the bottles for the babies first. And I thought we could start off the live by getting one of our afternoon chores out of the way. Now, this one right here will eat one more time before the night's over. She'll eat again at around 11 o'clock tonight. Starla. But this is her fourth bottle of the day. She eats, y'all. She can go through some bottles. And not to worry, we have, even though she makes quite the mess, we have a lot of friends here who like to help clean her up. So that's one thing we never long for, or paper towels and dish rags or napkins, because trust me, well, right here I have Trixie underneath me. Here's Stella. Stella is by far our best helper when it comes to everything that has to do with the babies. She's just amazing in every way. All right, so you can see how fast Starla ate her bottle. Now, the reason I fed Starla first is because you don't know what's about to ensue. Friends, I'm sorry to tell you that, but not everyone's going to be as easy as Starla. I wish they were. Okay, Starla, you're done, sweetie. Now, I do love you so much. I'm going to put you down, let you go play. And now I'm going to bring the calves out. This is where everything gets really, this is where it all goes downhill. This right here is the beginning of the shit show. Y'all ready for this? No one's ready for this. Come on, little ones. Woo! Come on, baby. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Time to eat. Come on. Time to eat. Woo! We have to start with them while they're young and getting them prepped for their dinner call. Come on, little ones. All right. So believe it or not, every animal that you see here plays a very active role in what's about to happen. Ruby will not eat until she beats the living hell out of somebody. You heard me correctly. I'm sorry. This is a Timeout Tuesday, and y'all, and anything goes on Timeout Tuesdays, right? But Ruby does not normally eat until she can beat the heck out of somebody, and that somebody is normally Bertha. Okay, Sadie. Sorry, Sadie. No one can see you, sweetie. So what happens is Ruby comes out. Sadie will sometimes walk up to her and allow Ruby to punch into her 2 or 3 times. And that's good. I'm sorry to say that, but it's better Sadie than us. And if you could see poor Jami's legs, y'all, her legs, she's on a work trip and she could not wear a dress for her work trip. And Jami had to wear jeans to travel, and it's too hot to wear jeans right now. And then she has to wear a business suit when she gets there because she can't wear a dress. And I feel so bad for her. But that's the life of a Longhorn mom. I don't know if y'all have ever seen a calf nurse off of mother, but I can't explain why they do this. But a calf will go up to mom and take just its head and just punch into the udder. Just punch the udder. And a calf will do that several times. I don't know why they do that, but they do. And poor Jami has been having to play mama cow for a while. I want y'all to notice the suction here, how she's completely sucked the bottle in. But I'm happy to get her out of the way. Stella's sitting here helping me clean. And it has not been that bad of a beat down yet. No, we're not finished. We're not at all finished. And I really don't know where Danny ran off to. All right, we're going to take her a little break. You need some more? You want some more? You want to punch me for a while? Okay. So she's going to go ahead and do a good job and help Daddy along here a little bit. Thank you, Stella, for being so good. So once we get the calves fed, the little goat fed, then we can kind of start doing all the girl talk. Then we start all the girl talk. I know that I'm not the best at girl talk, but we can do some girl talking. But let's get these calves out of the way first. Now, this is only one bottle. She actually drinks almost two. And then we will eventually start the little bucket feeding, but we're not quite there yet. We're still kind of in the nurturing stage. And there's a whole lot of stuff going on right now that is important to their development. Mostly just letting us spend some quality time with them before they get too big to enjoy quality time. There's nothing different here than what goes on with your own children. When they get to a certain age, they don't want to spend time with you anymore. So we're trying to take advantage of every moment we can. Because at a certain age, they're going to want nothing to do with us ever again. I hope that's not really true. You should also know that it would be foolish of me to have showered first because they're going to make a mess. And even though Stella here will clean up most of the mess, she's not going to clean it off of me. I don't let Stella clean it off of me. Sweetie, you've already eaten your bottle. Now she's just curious about what's going on the table. Why don't you guys go find me Danny? Why don't you bring Danny? Danny, come on, sweetie. Danny has gone back inside the air-conditioned room that we've been leaving them in. And that's fine when it becomes her turn. The problem I worry about is that Ruby might end up messing with Danny. And if she does, then Danny will have a hard time eating. You might want to save some for Danny. We have another bottle over here. This is Danny's bottle coming up. And I like Danny's bottle because it has a little handy little handle on it. My only concern, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, here comes Danny now. My only concern is Danny's bottle is pretty warm. I may have got it too warm. Here comes Danny. Now, Danny will do a little punching bag game as well. But I do not see, darn it, I don't see Sadie. We need Sadie here to take the beat down, or else she may try to give it to me. Right now, she's revving to go. She is revving to go. Now we have Trixie and Stella both helping out with the cleanup, and that's great. If I can get Ruby to eat the entire 2 bottles now, that's going to save a whole lot of work later, and she'll leave me alone when I'm trying to feed Danny. You're probably saying, Lester, why is it that Ruby's eating 2 bottles and Danny only gets 1? Danny's a lot younger. She's younger than Ruby, and Ruby's a growing girl. So I also hear dogs barking. That would be Millie and Fiona, and probably Sadie off doing something. Sadie, I need you. All right. So as you can see, Ruby has pretty much finished both bottles. When they start slowing down on their own. That lets you know that they're full. Now they may want to start playing a little bit, and the hope that they'll play over there and not over here next to me. Danny, it's your turn. Oh, Danny has a TT. Don't look. Y'all just don't look at Danny. I'm putting my hand there until she can finish. Y'all give the girl a little privacy, okay? Give the girl a little privacy. She has a TT. And, of course, she goes right over to Jamie's flower beds to do it. Let's just not look. I'm not waving. I'm not. Oh, Lord. Sweetie, you've already had 2 bottles. You're not going to have more. This is where everything gets dangerous because once she full and she wants to start playing, they play really rough. And like I said, Jami has bite marks and bruises all over her legs. Danny, it's your turn, sweetie. Come on, love. So, all right. Well, I'm happy to say that we have 2 down and 1 to go. We have 2 down and 1 to go. And I'm not going to rush Danny over here because I already told you her bottle, I think I made it too hot. And I don't want to do that. So instead, let me go ahead and do my shout out or the toast out or whatever you guys call it to Timeout Tuesday. So I'm going to be drinking some Jim Beam Vanilla, which is what I drink on most days that I do drink. And I'm going to mix that with a delicious Dr. Pepper. I do not have a straw or a lid because we're out. Oh no, here comes Danny, and it's just in time for my drink. Danny, come on over here, love. Danny, see if this is too hot for you. It takes Danny a little while to get going. Danny, get over here and eat. Sometimes Danny is real slow to get started, and we even have to help adjust everything with her. Danny, if you want your bottle, it's over here. But in the meantime, I'll set it down and let everyone just watch you look cute and jump around. So she's back. Let me go ahead and tip a toast to you all. Happy Timeout Tuesday. May your day be going as wonderful as ours. And may we not discuss anything negative. Let's have a very positive Timeout Tuesday. I know that a lot of you guys come here, cheers. Just someone says, let's just say cheers. Okay, you know what? Cheers, fine, cheers. I was trying to be philosophical and do something that most men don't do and talk. Yeah, and talk. My video today said just that. That I think one of the biggest problems with that I found on social media is that as much as I try to talk, I don't think everyone listens. And so Jami says, Lester, that's because people want to talk also. And I'm not giving you a chance to talk. Because if we were all sitting in a room, at a bar, at a restaurant, here at the table, it wouldn't be where Lester's talking and you all are listening. It wouldn't be that way. Instead, salud. Instead, we would all have an equal chance at conversation. And sometimes I get a little bit annoyed because I don't feel like anyone's listening to me. And I told Jami that it was true. I mean, you've all been sitting with your partner or with your friends and trying to have a conversation. And the whole time your friend is really just in another world, texting somebody or, browsing the internet. And that's not a real conversation. That's not a real conversation. You may both be talking, but one of the other person is not being an active listener. And it makes it real difficult to ever have a real conversation when someone's not fully engaged in the conversation. And come on, sweetie, you ready? I feel that way a lot. Come on, baby. Well, I may have to give her a few minutes to kind of do her thing. But, another example is, and I've seen this a number of times. How about when you sit down with your partner and you want to talk because you need to talk, but your partner is too engrossed in the TV and trying to find the right channel, and he just got that remote control, switching channels, and it just drives you bananas. You're just so darn sick. You want to reach over there and take that remote control and just shove it down his throat because he won't give you an audience. And I think that there's a time when we all need an audience. Sometimes we need to listen more than we need to talk, and vice versa. I think that y'all would agree with that. And that takes a big man to admit that, okay? I know that I have lost a lot of man points by admitting that. But I'm going to try to start listening more. Now, obviously, we don't have the ability to answer and reply to every single comment. But I'm going to try to spend more time listening to you because this is our chance to conversate. We don't get opportunities to reach out to people all the time. What I'm going to do right here with her is going to be a little bit bizarre. If you don't know the dynamic, it may be a little bit bizarre when I'm going to have to kind of force the nipple, the teat, into the proper alignment with her mouth. And that's what happens quite a bit with her. Now, Ruby has already come, she's all past that stage. Now she'll find it no matter where it's at. You could, no matter what, Ruby will find it. I'm trying to give y'all something cute to look at. It has to be a lot better than me. But no, I will just say that it takes a little bit of time to get Danny going still. And there's actually been feedings where she wouldn't eat at all. We've had to just kind of come back to her multiple times throughout the course of the morning or the evening and get her to eat. I want you to watch what she's doing over there. She's actually taking out her punching bag stuff on poor Ruby. Now, Ruby's already eaten. Ruby's no longer hungry. Ruby's over there just kind of messing around with the garden. But Danny is hungry, and you have to let them do this first. Now, at some point, she may have to do it to me. I may have to open myself up to her and let her just push away and shove away. Because if I don't, she may never come to eat. There we go. That might be a little bit easier for you guys to see what's going on behind me. Danny, do you feel like eating, sweetie? She's just going to eat on Jamie's plants. I told Jamie that our flower garden looks horrible. And right now, there's no way to even try to fix it because it's so hot. There's not much you can do to fix it. Danny has gotten up inside that garden and laid around on all of our plants. And that's just like the funnest thing for her to do, especially in the mornings. She likes to lay in the plants and kind of like hide herself. Nothing that we have is toxic to her. So if that's what your concerns are, all of our plants are animal safe. We don't want them eating all of our plants. But at this point, we have nothing else for them to eat. And they're at the age where they want to nibble and taste on things. So we do have to allow that, even though it just kills us, because I've said it before in a video recently. I talked about the fact that I can still name almost every plant that we bought, and I tell you how much they all cost, because we tried to make this part of the yard really pretty. It was our dream to have this side of the yard just kind of a, I don't really want to call it a protege garden. I know that Jason and Brooke over at Cog Hill Farm talk about their protege garden. I don't know exactly what that is, but it sounds French and it sounds fancy. And so I'm like, you know what? We're going to have us a protege garden too. I don't know what the heck it means, but we're going to have us a little courtyard area with pretty flowers. And we're going to have some that grow in containers there in the porch, and some can be out there that get, sun. And we're going to have a really nice setup. And for a while, we had a great setup. The yard was nice and green and everything was growing. And man, now, and I told Jamie, let's not even worry about trying to fix it up now. It's just too hot. Nothing you can do about it. All right, well, I'm going to stop talking about cows, and instead we'll talk about some things that you all want to talk about. It's our garden porch area. Lester, you need to put a nipple on. Maybe if you wash your truck, it'll rain. I already tried that twice. I've already washed the car several times, and there's so much dust in the air that they don't stay clean very long at all. So there's a lot of questions about the pond. How's the pond doing? And I'm just not going to talk about it today. If y'all are okay with that, let's just not talk about anything that's going to stress me out, because I can't handle any more stress. A lady sent me a message today, and it was very powerful. As a matter of fact, I got a couple of messages today that were very powerful. But hers was a TikTok from a pastor of a church. And he talked about stress in our life and how there's none of us are immune to it. It doesn't matter, the color of our skin or, the amount of money in our bank accounts. Every one of us, every single one of us are going to at some point experience moments of great stress, anxiety, and pressure. And he was talking about what he's found to be a solution to that stress. Now, of course, he quoted a couple of biblical scriptures to help him along the way. But for the most part, the gist of it is just don't give in to it. Instead, do just the opposite. No matter how stressed you might be, find positive things to talk about instead of anything that is stress related. So I could easily sit here and talk about the heat and the lack of rain and the pond and the no vegetation and all of those things. Talking about those things might be therapeutic, but in reality, they're not going to be. It's only going to keep me more stressed. And worse than that, it's going to drive it's going to drive the conversation. What I present in the live is going to drive the conversation in a certain direction. And I don't want to drive the conversation into a stressful type dialogue. I want to keep it positive and upbeat and uplifting. And in saying so, if I can surround myself from other positive, upbeat, and uplifting comments, then guess what? That can reduce all of that stress. So in a way, we can't control some of these forces of Mother Nature, but our reactions can be controlled. And that's how we react to them. So my reaction tonight is not going to talk about anything stress related. There'll be nothing controversial. There'll be nothing that should get anyone upset with me. It's just going to be the fact that I'm sitting here taking a moment to celebrate this beautiful life behind me, even as we see Danny destroying life, garden life. And Stella, I just bottle fed 2 babies. For you guys who are just jumping in, you may have to watch the replay. We got 2 babies bottle fed. Starla went first with her little bottle. And then we got Ruby, who drank both of her bottles. And then I was talking about Danny, that's the little white longhorn, and the fact that sometimes it's harder to get her going. Miss Pat is not going to be taking Starla. That was something that I offered to Miss Pat, but Miss Pat was very articulate in how she explained that it was a beautiful offer. And at some point in her life, she does want to find herself with a small herd of goats and some chickens. But she says that right now, business with Mr. David, they own a business together, is not doing so well. And she's spending a lot of time with Mr. David at his place of employment, at their business. And so that keeps her on the road, that keeps her away from home. And she thinks that right now, as much as she loves our sweet Starla, she doesn't think right now would be the best time for her. And I completely respect that. That's the one thing that we asked of everybody who was looking into adopting one of our rescue dogs. When we rehomed them, we really wanted someone that was going to have time to spend with them. We know there's people with resources and beautiful backyards and maybe possibly letting your dogs come indoors and whatnot. But we were concerned that we wanted people who were going to have time, because we know how much time we spend with them. And that's the lot that they've become familiar with, is the time that we spend. And so I think that we've been real lucky. I will say blessed, not lucky. We've been real blessed to have found people who spend time with their animals. Holly Darlene, I think, is the lady who, Holly Darlene's mom, Norma, is who I have the most contact with. And of course, she has an Instagram page that she started for Holly Darlene, which is just adorable. But Now, all of the dogs that we decided to go ahead and rehome have all gone to great owners who have time, and that was so big for us. I really hope Danny comes back over here. I may have to go for her if she does it. She's looking at me right now. She's probably wondering what's going on. Danny, look what I got over here, sweetie. Danny, I got some milk. It'll make your tummy feel so good. If Jami were here, Jami would call. Oh Lord! If Jami were here, she would call Sadie over. Danny just wants to play. I don't know if you all can see what's going on behind me. If you're watching me, you need to stop and you need to watch what's going on behind me over here, because that is the most beautiful thing ever. Here comes Sadie now. Sadie, can you help, baby? Come on, Sadie. Danny, look, here's Sadie. We need Sadie to walk over, and Danny will come over and start punching on her. And if Sadie will allow us to do that, be our punching bag, then that would help Danny eat a whole lot faster. Ruby is completely content. Her belly's full. She's laid down over there chewing on her cud. Y'all know what that means? She's chewing on her cud. And then, of course, you all can see Starla, who's also content to just be jumping around, loving life. I'm really surprised she's not come and jumped on the table yet. That's what we do not want to have happen, even though I'm surprised she hasn't. But all we need now is Danny. And if Jami is watching, I don't know if she... Oh, someone says Jami is here. So Jami is here, which means that now I'm going to have to get real good at this, because if not, I'm going to be critiqued for doing everything wrong. All right, let Daddy move the chair out of the way. So Jami is probably sitting in some airport. I would think that Jami's sitting in some airport about now. And if she is on here, she's more than happy. She can jump in and join this live with me, and she can talk me through this together. While we're waiting, though, let me show you this little girl's favorite game. Ready, sweetie? Ring around the rosies, pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, they all fall down. We don't want her to fall down, but she will jump down. Are you enjoying that? Do not jump on that table. That's all. We do not want her to jump across, because she'll jump all the way to the table. And in that process, she's going to just destroy all of my setup here. Sweetie. So I have not seen Jami. Now, of course, I am using StreamYard. In StreamYard, it combines all of the channels together. It is the neatest. Yes, Jami is here. And she says that I'm in line to board. So Jami is in line to board her flight. Now, what that means is once she gets on board, maybe if she has the Wi-Fi option, she'll be able to join us. Now, she may not want to talk to us if she's sitting beside some handsome stranger. Hello, how are you? And they have to decide who's going to share the armrest. Yeah, that seems to always happen. It's kind of funny because I always ask Jami to low key. All right, maybe this is going to make me sound weird. I always ask Jami to low key take a picture of whoever she's sitting beside. I always think that's so funny to see who she's sitting beside. And so it gives me a chance to kind of like, I don't know. Sweetie, Mama's leaving for a couple of days. Okay. I got you though. I got you. Okay. I do. I got you. So, all right, hop down because I'm working. This is my work. Okay. This is my work. So I know y'all are probably saying, Lester, get back out of the way. We can't see what we've come for, and it's babies. It ain't you, Lester. So I will move my chair back out of the way. Sweetie. So at some point, I'm going to have to go over there and offer her that bottle, because even though it was a little bit hot when I first came out, I'm certain that it's cooled off by now enough for her to eat. There's too much drama on YouTube, someone says. So I think that drama is, if you allow it to be. So here's what I'll say the differences between Facebook and YouTube. Ready? On Facebook, you don't have an option what they put onto your news feed. So Facebook can pretty much control what you see and how much of it. They can also control what they don't want you to see. And that is a little bit, well, I mean, they own the platform. It's their business. So they can do that if they choose to. And so a lot of folks would say just the opposite, that Facebook is full of drama and YouTube is the channel where you subscribe to who you want to watch, and that's who you see when you go to YouTube. YouTube and Facebook are different, yet they're a lot of the same. Now, I don't know if you mean that there's drama today on the page. I have no idea. But I can only imagine that if there's drama today from either channel, it's because people are upset that they don't see Jami here. And I can totally understand that, because there's no comparison here to the content that Jami would bring you. She and I are both good at what we do as far as video creation, but we do go about it in different ways. So, have you decided what you're going to wear to prom? So I do know what I'm going to wear to prom, but I'm not like Jami and all of her friends and trying on dresses and stuff this early. I will be in typical guy fashion. I'll wait until that day, probably an hour or two before I have to get dressed, and try on my outfit to make sure it's going to be okay. And if it's not, I will improvise, and I'm completely fine with that. That is true. That is so darn true. I don't know why the dogs are barking, but looky here. How everyone becomes alert immediately to step up if they have to, and I love that. Who do you think the next goat mama will be? Wow, I don't know. I would have said Tilly or Sissy, because I've been eyeballing those girls for a while. But they got to a certain point and they sort of just like stopped growing as far as the mama belly. So I don't know, but I will say this. If Tilly and Sissy are not pregnant, then it's time for another trip to Longhorn Lester's to lose some of that weight, because they look to be obese. In my opinion, they look to be obese. Someone says they think maybe the two Golden Girls, and so that could be possible. Neither one of the Golden Girls have a very full bag. You see the protrusions on each side of them, but I don't really see a bag. And sometimes you want to see that udder begin to grow and those teats begin to swell up. But isn't it crazy how we've been doing this little Tilly baby watch for like a month now, or maybe longer, and still nothing? So I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and walk over and get her, bring her a little bit closer, and we're going to try to get some bottle down her. There's not really a reason to. Now, this is a problem. Sweetie, Ruby. Ruby is chewing on something that she should not be chewing on. That's something in Jami's garden that I'm certain should not go into your mouth. See, this is what they mean by baby proofing. That's nothing. Give me that. I don't know what this red tape is, but this is something that Jami had in the garden, and Ruby was chewing it up, and she would have eventually swallowed it. Listen to me, y'all. You don't think that having animals is a big deal. Oh, it's just a little bit of bottle feeding. Who's sitting? Oh, Lord. I was going to sit down there. Sweetie, you can sit behind me if you want. You got a really child. Oh, here's Danny. Now's my chance, y'all. Sweetie, here. No, man. Jamie would not approve of this. I'm just going to show her that I have her milk. I'm also going to get her mouth lined up to the bottle. And at that point, I'll let her decide if she wants it or not. There you go. Fix your mouth. Fix your mouth. Fix your mouth. Fix your mouth. There you go. All right. So I believe she's going to pull away, which means no. Wait, could y'all see any of that? Could y'all see any of that? Starla, no one could see anything because of you. Starla, no one was able to watch any of that because you were jumping around the chair. Sweetie, you want the bottle or not? So I'll let her kick me on me a little bit. Nope, she's not going to do it. She's not going to do it. So come on, baby. I need her to eat, and she will. But she'll do it on her time, not mine. Whew. So I am happy that both of the girls are drinking plenty of water. We have several water troughs and water stations set up around here. And the girls take time and they walk over to the troughs when they get thirsty, and we do watch them drink. So even though we need to also hydrate them or feed them, nurse them with the bottles, I'm not concerned that they're not drinking, because they are drinking. She's over there drinking right now out of one of our buckets that we fill with water. So I tell you what, when these babies are out, you really do have to have your head on a swivel. They call it have your head on a swivel, and you're constantly watching back and forth to see exactly who's getting into what, because they can get into everything. Ruby is over here getting into garden stuff. She's completely consumed with gardening right now. And it's cute because there's lots of, I'll just call them indentions, where she's been laying in Jamie's raised bed garden. Now, guys, the garden really is no more. There's nothing left of our garden. Jamie has pulled pretty much everything out of it that had died. It was just too hard to keep it going. So the garden is really just nothing more than just a raised bed of mulch. And so Jamie's been she has not been freaking out when the calves go and jump on it or lay on it. Danny over here. So the reason that Danny's not playing with the other ones is because she does want to eat. She just doesn't know, her routine has been thrown off a little bit. And that routine has a lot to do with Jamie not being here. And, dad tries to take over and play mom. And that doesn't always go smoothly. But like I said, no matter what you want to say, I've got 2 out of 3. I've done 2 out of 3. And I'll grab her. I will do it again. Sweetie. Come on, love. So what I'm going to do now is something that I've done before, and switch her bottle over. Each of these bottles have a different size nipple or teat, depending on how technical you want to be. So I'll just pour her bottle into a different one and see if we have any better success. I like this one because it has a handle. That handle makes it very convenient for me. But I don't want to have to wrestle her in front of you all. And I won't wrestle her anyway. She will eventually come to me. She'll eventually realize that, hey, if I want to eat, all the good stuff's over there. But she's playing. She's not being lethargic. She's getting about. She's moving and playing and jumping and, doing her thing. And so at some point, she will come to eat. She might get kicked in the face first, though. I do believe that Ruby wants to play with the whatever flower she's playing with and doesn't want Danny butting in. Danny, though, is going to push her weight around and try to butt in anyway. So, well, hey, I have an idea. How would you guys feel about me going and getting a couple of packages to open? If you say no, then I'll respect that. But today I got a package, I have not opened it yet, from Dutch, from Sean over at Keeping It Dutch, KID, Keeping It Dutch, sent me a package and I have not opened it. I thought I would do it on the live tonight. I'm going to leave. I see a lot of yeses, so that's great. So what I'm going to do is leave you all watching these girls as they play, and I'll go grab a couple of packages, and I'll also grab a box cutter, and I'll be back momentarily, okay? Come on, love. Okay, I'm back. So I was excited to see this. Hey, sweetie, all of the dogs have gathered around to see what the big deal is. They think it might be something for them, and it's not. You never know what Sean is going to send you. The last thing that he sent, well, he actually delivered, was a rooster. Hey, can we talk about that rooster right quick? Can we all just talk about that rooster for a minute? How many folks think, let me think about how I'm going to word this question. Let me think about how I want to word this, because the wording of this is of utmost importance. All right. So I do have a card that I'll read to you real fast. And I think this is pretty powerful. So the reason I'm reading this card is not because I'm trying to find anything negative to talk about, but it was an uplifting part of my day. And so I will play it for you. Dear Lester, I'm sorry that you and Jami are having such a rough time. As others have said in comments, I'm here to support y'all, not question your choices, or think that I know better. Your 3 channels have brought so much laughter and some tears. I'm impressed that you can keep a straight face as much as you do. It's incredible to think about how you've lifted your extended family through video creation and loyal followers who jumped right onto their pages as well. That has been a blessing. That has really been a blessing to know that Uncle Dan, Jacob, Brienne, so that entire family on that side. Then you got Stephanie and Buddy. You got Sister Kim. So you got most of that family on, over there. You got my mom and my dad. You have L.E. You have L.E.'s fiance, Megan. I'm forgetting somebody. Well, of course, you have Jami. You have me. But social media has really opened some windows for us. It really has done some really neat stuff. And I am so blessed that I found my way into that very small window, because Lex, thank you so much. Yes, Lex, Connor, Lissa, Guys, I'm so sorry. I don't remember what I had for lunch today. And much less, I can't name all of these folks who've been making videos and creating. Yes. I'm so sorry to those creators. And I didn't mean any disrespect by not mentioning your channels. But there's a lot of channels on Morrow Hill that have sprang up and are doing very well. Have y'all noticed that I'm a Survivor, Suits to Boots, and Longhorn Lesters has all taken a page from Brienne and Jake as far as their game plan, and we're doing what they've been doing. So this was something that was sent out to all of the video creators on the Facebook side. I'm sorry, I cannot find a spot where y'all can watch the babies. They keep moving. She's gonna lay down. She's gonna lay down right there, and that's fine. But we are long video creators. We create chapters, if you will. And so if you picture I'm a Survivor Sanctuary being a large novel, and in that novel, you have different chapters, events. I feel like I'm a Survivor, Longhorn Lesters, and From Suits to Boots are pretty much chapters in a very large book. And so we like each video to, in a way, stand alone. Yeah, there may be some things that you don't know if you haven't watched all of the videos, but for the most part, we want our videos to be able to stand alone. Where when you go to sit down to watch a video, you already know everything going on, and so it's just a continuation of your novel. In that novel, you have characters, and you have plots, and you have a climactic moments. You have all kinds of different emotions that run through you. And for anyone that likes to read, you completely get that. But, that's not really the way of the world. I'm going to say this, and you probably don't want to hear it, but it's true. The world is changing, and people in this day and age are on demand. They want everything at their fingertips, and they want it now. They don't have time to sit and wait for things to develop. And instead, they can get bored very easily. And in a world, a TikTok and a type world, where you have very short videos, and that is kind of the way the world's going. Facebook knows that. Facebook, they're not idiots. As much as we don't like some of the things they do, Facebook and YouTube both realize that they can get more of an audience to watch their shorts and their reels, their little short, things, than they can to get folks who want to watch a long video. And so they are beginning to phase out the long videos. I'm sorry to say that. Now, we've not seen that same phasing out on YouTube. YouTube has always been a channel for folks who like to watch videos. No matter what kind of videos you're into, YouTube offers you videos, and those can be as long as you will watch. They don't mind putting ads on them as long as you want to watch them. But Facebook is trying harder to keep up with the trends. We'll call it the trends. And so they are trying to phase out the longer videos. And so Jamie and I have tried to learn to play their game, even though for what we do and for what we've always been, it's not really conducive to our audience, to you all. Because I believe that by and large, you still prefer longer videos. So there is a middle ground. Facebook has asked us to do more between 3 and 5 minute videos. If we're going to throw on a 15, 20-minute video, then fine, throw it in there. But what they want to see more from our channels, and it's not just ours, it's all of the creators. They want to see more short content. They want to add some of the legacy accounts to their list of shorts or their shorter videos. So Jamie and I have taken a page from Jake and Brienne, and have tried to kind of do what they've been doing for a while. and including snippets of our day. They're not standalone videos by any means. There's nothing that leads up. There's no rising action. There's no climactic moment. It's just a snapshot. It's like if you walk outside with your camera and just take your camera and pan around and then tell everybody what you're seeing. To me, that's not quality content. That's just my opinion. Now, they seem to be doing fine. A lot of folks are buying into them, and a lot of folks seem to be enjoying those little snapshots, those questions of the day. And so we're going to do what we have to do to make sure that we remain relevant in the world of social media, and I will say an ever-changing world of social media. We're going to keep doing what we have to do to stay relevant and for our page to keep growing. But I'll ask you a question, and I want you to think about this before you answer. This is what I told Jami. And I says, Jami, do you ever miss the old days when we didn't have the same pressure, when we really did know everybody who commented? Now, we may not have known them personally, but when the channels were small and you knew that everybody on your channel was your kind of person, they were engaged, they were a part of your story. And man, those are the good old days, y'all. Those are the good old days when you knew everybody on your page. You begin to recognize names. You had real conversations with people. And now, you know, when things get large and they get big, when you're blessed to have that, it's opened up a lot of opportunities for everybody. But you have lost a lot of your interpersonal relationships, those that mean so much. And then I'm going to say this, and I don't know if it's true, but I feel like a lot of folks, and I'm not meaning the collective group, but I feel like a lot of people would rather belong to a small channel where they feel like their voice is bigger, where they have more of a say-so, instead of a larger channel where their voice, being their comment, might get hidden amongst the thousands of other comments. A connection that I can make to that is when I used to teach school, they would say, we want your kids to work in groups. Now, you could form large groups, but in a large group, each person has a minimal role. Think about that. In a large group, each person has a very minimal role to play. However, if you would make a small group, maybe just a 3-person group, now each person's role is much larger. And so that's so true with small channels. When you're a small channel, you're able to have all of your roles are so much more significant. And I miss those days. So how can I sit here as a video creator who would like to see the channel continue to grow, be able to reach more people, yet say that I missed the old days of when times were simple and everyone was supportive of what we were doing or what we were trying to do? And so, but no, ultimately, if I had to pick one or the other, I would still have to pick it the way that God has led us down this path, because this channel has opened up a lot. Let me get back to what I was reading. So this sweet lady talks a little bit about how amazed she is that one little I'm a Survivor Sanctuary channel has blossomed into what it is today, and it's also been able to share share its success with other Morrow Hill creators, to where now the entire family pretty much can make a decent living off of creating videos if they choose. This is where it gets a little bit personal, but she did not say not to share. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. This card is too little to share my extended story, so I'm going to share just the short version. I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer in 2011 when my boys were only 11 and 13. After surgery and radiation on everything, it went quiet. I finally reached the 5-year survivor mark. They found a tumor on my femur at that point. It was stage 4. While everyone knows they will die someday, it is a weird existence in the middle of get your affairs in order and you may only live for X number of years. Well, in these past 7 years since that stage 4 diagnosis, I've seen my boys graduate from high school and college. They've gotten jobs and are making plans for graduate school. I treasure every day with them and hope that science can still find a way to cure me of my cancer. She talks a little bit more, then finally at the very end, she says, "Your videos have gotten me through some rough times. So thank you so much for sharing your world." Her name is Paula. And Paula, I don't know if I can find the words to tell you how much that means to me, but it is very powerful to know that in your darkest times, you were able to use, a video of ours to find yourself in a better place. Maybe a temporary laugh or a smile, just something to lift your spirits a little bit. And I know that it's just temporary, but there's people in the world who have fallen in love with our babies and the characters that they play here in a very large novel, I like to say. And Paula, I want to thank you for sharing your story with me. And I love stories like that. And then I will let you know that stories like that are the ones that inspire me to keep going. When we have rough days, and everything is not always easy. But when I look at my rough days compared to your rough days, I can it makes me feel like quite the I'm just going to say quite the chicken shit to sit here and feel sorry for myself when in reality I don't have near the worries and the stress that you do. I don't. And so that makes me feel extremely blessed. I find ways to count my blessings. And I just want to thank you for being able to lift me up, even in a dark time for you. I'm very happy that you were able to see your kids graduate, both high school and college, and know that you even have hopefully many, many years ahead to watch what they will eventually become in life. Well, let me move on to opening this gift. So this here comes from Kid, which is keeping it Dutch. And I'm excited to see what's inside here. Oh, Lord. Okay, so the first thing that I see kind of terrifies me. Guys, that's the first thing that I see, and it terrifies me. I don't know what that is. Okay, I don't even know if I should open this. Look, what is this? What is this, y'all? What has he done? I don't know what you can put past that guy. Oh, Lord. This is actually beautiful. So, this is not for everybody, but I did not know what I was opening. But what he has sent me is what they call a pelt. A pelt is, in fact, a tanned animal hide. So, this is obviously from one coyote that Mr. Sean, keeping it Dutch, at some point had to exterminate, but he kept the pelt, which is just an animal fur. What they do is You don't have to have a taxidermist to do this for you. My dad used to tan, they call it tanning a hide. It's not a dead animal. The animal part is gone. All of the animal innards are completely gone. Now, I'm going to be very careful that my dogs don't grab this and run off with it. This hide has been tanned, and a lot of people will use things like this to create themselves different types of clothing. Dutch, am I blushing? Am I blushing? Because I feel like I don't know where to go with this one. Sean knows that my audience are folks who love animals, and it was tough to know that we had to go out and try to exterminate those that were wreaking havoc on our babies here. And I do believe that the three that we the three that we got, I certain played a huge role because no one around here has seen or heard from the coyotes in quite a while. Let me show y'all this. It's playtime. This is where they play rodeo. Now, maybe she'll work up an appetite at some point. We need her to work up an appetite. Sweetie, you getting hungry yet? No? Isn't Ruby just so chilled and relaxed? And Danny's the one that's okay. As soon as I say something, up she goes with that little back kick. You want to eat now, sweetie? No? There they both go. Now they will circle the entire shop. And at this time of night, I'm not worried about them. All of our dogs are out, and we don't worry about our babies out and about playing here in this time of day at all. They're fine. Here they come behind me. They've circled the entire shop, and now they're going again. Here goes their second lap around the shop. Now, Stella's upset. She wants them to settle down because someone's going to get hurt. And I don't know if y'all could hear her, but they do have the zoomies, in fact, and they're playing. I might be able to catch them as they come through. I don't know if they'll come this way or if they'll go around behind me, but they do love to play. And it's sad because they could only play in the morning and late afternoon, early evening, like it is right now. The temperature has finally dropped enough to where I'm sitting here without a sweat. Fiona, baby, no one's giving you any attention. Okay. Let's all show Fiona some love because she really needs some attention right now. There's the calves over there. They're going back around the other way. So, well, thank you very much, Sean, for that. Let me read some stuff. Janice says that I went through a horrible time with COVID in 2020. My mom had to die alone at the age of 93 because of the awful COVID. All she wanted to do was live her life and die in her home. Shame on the idiots who called COVID a pandemic. Vote for. Okay, so I did not want to read anything political. Remember, we're trying to keep things. Free of any controversy and stuff. And so I understand your pain, ma'am. You lost your mom, and your mom was not with you when she passed. Baby, do not step on my computer. Your mom was not with you when she passed. Lord have mercy. Lord. You weren't able to be with your mom when she passed because I'm guessing it was during the time of the pandemic when they were advising their distance and not allowing folks to spend time together, even if they were sick. And no, ma'am. That's my box cutter. That's my drink. So I completely relate to your pain and your perspective on everything that happened. And you will never feel any differently than how you feel now. And there's nothing anyone can ever say to have you change your mind on what you feel like was a very political move on some people's parts during all of that. But I have my opinions as well, ma'am. I will let you know that I have my opinions as well. But let's not talk about it tonight. I promise you. Maybe if you want to come to the, I don't know if people really want to know some people's opinions, because opinions, y'all, they're going to always differ. Everything that we do, no one's ever going to agree. But I think that we can all admit that there have been so many mistakes made in American politics. That this is true, and this goes for both of our parties. Both of the large parties should be ashamed of themselves. I think that we can all agree on that, can we? Is that something we can all agree on without anyone having to say anything in specific? So, no specifics, but I would say that I think that both political parties should be ashamed of themselves for the way they have used the American people, the way they have used the media, the way they have used taxpayer dollars, the way they continually throw bogus accusations back and forth at everybody. And personally, I'm sick of it. I am just so sick of American politics. Now, I would not want to live anywhere else. I can still say that I love this great country. And I really do hope that our country can figure out what's going on and straighten some things out. Because I know there are some brilliant minds. There are some brilliant minds in politics. But the problem is, money is what talks in politics. We already know that. And connections. And there is a good old boys club that still exists today, as it always has. And that good old boys club is going nowhere. I do believe our politicians are picked and chosen from deals that were made behind closed doors. And so ultimately, we will just have to wait and see and hope and pray that at some point we'll find somebody in power who is able to truly bring both sides together and can make some positive changes that we can all once again find ourselves proud to be Americans and proud to call our president and stand behind him or her and to take this country in a better direction. I'm trying to find things to read to talk about. I loved your Timeout Tuesday, Lester. You did a good job filling in for Jami. Thanks for keeping it mellow. I needed a calm few minutes. Thank you, from Kathleen from Boston. Kathleen, are you leaving me? Wait, I've been over an hour. I have gone over an hour. I cannot believe that. Okay, well, listen, I will let you go then. I want to say thank you so much to everybody for jumping in and for allowing me to fill in for Jami. I know that it's in no way equal to what you would get with Jami, but I'm blessed that she asked me to fill in for her, and I'm thankful that you guys were able to join and be a part of this. I'm glad that we did keep it mellow. There was nothing that anyone could leave with any hurt feelings. I am greatly sorry for the lady who lost her mom during COVID, and for anyone else who lost loved ones during the pandemic. It was a horrible time, and a lot of people lost their lives. I want to remember there are people in the wonderful state of Hawaii, and I believe even Alaska, that are struggling today tremendously. And I don't want to ever begin to think that my problems are greater than someone else's, because we do have our problems here. But there are people who are struggling all over the world with different, either be it Mother Nature or be it health, be it divorce, finances, abuse, neglect, and it can go on and on and on about all of the things that can kind of make life that roller coaster we always talk about. But listen, I'm so very blessed to have had you for an hour. Thank you for watching. I will finish my drink and I will go finish that bottle. But it looks like I'll have to chase that little girl down to do so. So thank you for watching, and we will see you guys on the very next video. Okay? Good night.